Imagine achieving your dreams job only to be it destroyed or blocked by your relationship or one of your partners. In this video, we will discuss how personal relationships can influence this career life trajectory. We will discuss the nature of the problem. Then we will think, is it related to relationship? And the third one, most interesting, is about which relationship. And then after finding out, we can confirm the nature of the problem itself. It's important to recognize these patterns early because this can protect your relationship, navigate it properly, and also safeguard your career life. So let's roll the intro and go to these points. So to identify the challenge in the chart may be quite problematic because there can be many, or we don't know which one is the main. Of course, we can use the shortcut of the dasha. We can see which period is working at specific point of time, and then we will assign this to this specific combination of the planets. But the other way is to see how deep the problem is going. So we can see how many levels are engaged. Is Panchanga engaged? Is Charakaraka engaged? And so on. And this will give us the answer to a question, is it something very shallow, which will go away, which will pass in a few days? Or is it something we will remember for a long time? And this will go a bit deeper. Let's use this chart as an example. We have a John Kitzhaber. This person faced a major crisis because he was a government employee in Oregon, and his fiancée was using or leveraging her influence by going into these green deals. And she got a big compensation as a consultant for these. And there was some conflict of interest. And this was so high, or at least it was judged in this way, that he had to resign and he had to pay a big fee penalty. So as you can see, this is an example. This can be a model to derive those nice rules, which we can use then for our chart. This chart, right away, we can see Mercury afflicted in third by Mars and Sun. They are also combust, and Mars is additionally defeated. We have Moon and Saturn in 8, not so good. Some people will say, yeah, it's 8 Lord in 8. And but you will see that in Moon and Moon, this penalty, that dasha of Moon was the time of the penalty, interestingly. And then we have, of course, this Jupiter problem in the 12th, with Ketu aspected by Rahu. These three will represent all the issue he'll have in his life, at least from the bigger perspective first, as the Rashi chart, the main chart, is showing that. Some of these will be related to relationship. By the way, in the Devaguru website, you can enter your birth details and then you will have access to your chart. And then you can see the list of the planets. If there will be some fire icon, then it will mean combust. If there is some swords, it's a Grahayuda, which is the planetary war. And of course, we have also those arrows, which is something which is called Charakaraka. For now, I think you are already familiar with those names if you are for some time on this channel, but let us just say that these are the many types of affliction of the planets. If we go by these guidelines, you guessed correctly, it is the one with the combustion and with the Grahayuda, because if there is more dosha, then ultimately that will be a bigger issue. So here we can see that Al2, we will take Jupiter as a major curse here, and they will be connected because you will see that Jupiter is the Karaka for the 9th house. So it has to do with the Kavacha, with the protection, right? And these planets are aspecting the 9th house. So we could say that Jupiter is allowing this problem to happen. It makes the person vulnerable. And who is misusing that loophole? It is the afflicted Mercury in the 3rd. So there is some problem, there is some challenge, 3rd house, and it all may have to do with the 12 and 7. This could be relationship, and in all matters of finances, then Mercury will be the central figure. So to conclude, you can use the dasha to pinpoint what is the problem, and also you can see, you can add the other layers of Charakaraka and Panchanga and see where is the density, where is the big substance, which dosha weight a little bit more. And again, some exotic names. Panchanga is just the quality of time, like you were born on Friday and on a full moon. This is the Panchanga. There are a few more variables there, like the star in which you were born and so on. And the Charakaraka is just the order of the planet based on the degree. For example, planet with the highest degree, it's called Atmakaraka, which is the planet which is showing the spirit. And some are saying that this is the Jaimini astrology, but you will find the same thing in the Brihad Parashara Hora Shastra. So this is all holistic branch of knowledge. We are not making those divisions. So now we have identified where is the fire in the chart, but is it coming from relationship? How to find that? Most people will just take the seventh lord is related to this, so this is about relationship. But there is something more to it. We have to again go to those different layers like arudha and the karaka and so on. And this is a big fight against the essentialism because it says that, we cannot make those nuances from very broad data, right? Like you will have only 9 planets for the whole life. So imagine whatever you will say from this should be very broad. So therefore we have more variables and this is making the whole thing more nuanced. One good example is the Varga charts. By opening the Varga charts, the additional chart related to some specific area of life, we can get additional details when it comes to static information of what's going on and also the dynamics, the timing. What would be the key elements here? Bhava, the house lordship, the lord of that house, also Karaka and the Arudha. Again, to understand if that problem is related to relationship, is 7th Lord involved? Is the Venus somehow there? Like in this chart, you can see 7th Lord, is that Mercury? Venus is in 12 from that. So 2nd and 12 often shows financial type of issues. All related to that 3rd house, there is connection to Mercury and also 10th Lord and 7th Lord, as for all Sagittarius Lagna, are connected. So we have a good argument. It's like default broad case. Also, you can check the Arudha of the 7. Here it's in Libra, and that problematic combination is in Trikona and even aspecting the Libra. So whatever this Mercury is, it's 7th Lord. There is also 12th Lord. So we can conclude, yes, whatever this is, it is related to relationship. Now, why I am taking A7 here? Because I want to just know about general karma related to all relationships. Because if we unpack the Upapadas, it will work for that specific relationship. This will show that this second relationship or 3rd or 4th has this specific problem, or how this yoga is from the specific Upapada. So this will give more nuance. But at our level, we just want to know, is it a relationship-related issue or not? Now, if we take it from Arudha Lagna, you may also see how it was provoked. So it is in 11 from Mesha Arudha, right? Mesha Arudha, aspected by Sun, is showing that the person was a government worker. There is also Moon Mercury. Moon is in the 4th, in Digbala, and Mercury aspecting. Before that person was working in the as a physician in the emergency room in the Oregon. Interesting thing that even after he was already elected into the Senate and so on, still for many, many years he was working these 2 professions. So in the Dashamsa, we can see that the Mercury is in 12th house. Those may show those difficult jobs or emergency because the 12th house is related to, has this death, but we can mold or modify this archetypical meaning to understand what's going on. Okay, and then if we know that, which relationship, 1st, 2nd, or 3rd, because if you don't know this, you can be a little bit too much, you can suspect anyone, you can get this hyper vigilant, over anxious. Like many astrologers, they are seeing some dosha in the chart, they are spreading it on all the areas, and even in that one area to the all people involved. But this is not true. It can be only one area. It can only be one person in that area, and that's going to be, for example, only for 1 year, depending on the dasha. So it will not spread on whole life, and all the time there will be some problem. This is the quite incorrect approach to astrology. And imagine doing that in Western astrology. It would be completely not possible because there is no distinction between this and that relationship, the subsequent one or the previous one, which relationship will awake this part of us. This we can know by approaching the Vedic astrology. And even in Jyotisha, before Pandit Sanjay Rad revealed that correct Upapada calculation and also how to see the subsequent ones, it was not so open, at least to the international scene of the Jyotisha. The good thing is that if we find which one, then we can see the distance between that point of relationship to the problematic dosha, and then also we can see how it was triggered, what was the whole process, how it started. And Jyotisha gives us these fantastic tools to correlate the people with the planets in the chart, by names, by ascendant, by the moon, by how they look, how they behave. We can assign them to those planets, and then that whole thing becomes very actionable and valuable piece of information. Among many tools to identify this, we have to look for things which are giving us information about subsequent relationships. So we have one such tool in Rashi, and we have one in the Navamsha. And if we count 8 from the previous one, we will get to the next one. What those tools are. Probably you already know these are Upapada in the Rashi. This is the arudha of the 12th house, symbol or abbreviation UL, and we have also the order of houses for each relationship in the Navamsha. 7th house is the first one, 2nd house is the second one, 9 is the third one. Now on the Upapada level, we have to find which one is having this connection to this dosha we have found, right? This Mercury, Sun, Mars. Now the first and second Upapada, they are not having a big connection to that yoga, and also not in the financial matters. But if we take the third one, then now something interesting is coming up. It is with the arudha. This is quite good because these two people may have a similar lifestyle and belonging to one color of society. This yoga now in the Aquarius becomes 11th. Right? So it's like financial motive, or you want to gain something. This is how the problem starts. And also 6th from Arudha Lagna is the same Mercury. So there is some weakness involved. And what kind of weakness? This is about the money, Mercury. So we can see that the third Upapada have something to do with that dosha, right? It is aspecting it by Rasi Drishti in 11th house way, so related to finances. But let's do that independently in the Navamsha. Right? So for something to fall, you need to have some benefics afflicted by malefics, right? Because if they are only malefics, then it may show that your partner is just some physician, or he is some jyotisha, or he is some kind of spiritual person. But if we want to see some kind of fall, we need to trace affliction. And also here, for someone who have money, we also need to have a Dana Yoga, right? The Venus and Moon in 9th house may be a good candidate, because here the Venus and Moon are aspected by Saturn, Mars, and they are blocked by 2 malefics. So if there is some affliction, if there is some falling down, this Venus is also Bada Kesha here, and also this was in the dasha of Sun, Saturn, the affliction, which house is afflicted? This is the 9th and also maybe the 4th Lord, because the 4th Lord will be again a Venus. So both in the 3rd and in the 4th, there is some challenge. But to see if that will be the 4th, we can go back to Upapada and check if there is some problem also there. So definitely we have the 3rd one, and that's the fact the whole problem was with the 3rd relationship, right? And if we take this 9th house as the Lagna, we will get the whole story of that person. Like, she was very wealthy, right? Venus and Moon. 10th from that is Jupiter. So she was a consultant, and she was doing that. She had own business, agency, which was related to deals. So 7th Lord is that Mercury in Gemini, right? Mercury in Gemini are all about ecology, about the clean power and things like that. And this is in the 4th from that, Pisces. So this is all about clubs, organization, and going in deals. 7th Lord with them. Of course, there are a little bit more advanced way to be sure that this is the 3rd or 4th relationship. We can apply that also. But I think we will wait with that for the course. Now, if we find that this is the 3rd relationship, we can go even a step farther to now identify the problem which is coming up with that relationship and how to do it. Because most of the people will just take the, okay, I have found the 3rd Upapada, so that's the problem, and let's see what's going on in the 9th house, right, in the Navamsha. But it's not a point. All of these things are called Lagna. So you can, it's like Upapada Lagna. And when you use the word Lagna, it means that you can count the houses from it. And this will give you more information. So for example, here, it's not only the aspect on Arudha or Upapada, but this aspect is coming from the 11th from Arudha Lagna, and it's involving 6th Lord from Arudha Lagna. So therefore, we can say that all of these were into the problem of gaining the money, right? And then after the punishment, when he had to pay, it was in Jupiter. So we can see Jupiter is a 12 from Arudha Lagna, and in the Dashamsa, in the career life chart, it is also the 12th Lord. using the variation, it was in the moon. Moon is at the time when that whole scandal came up, and when he was forced to resign, it was all in Virgo dasha. In Russia, we have that Virgo, that Mercury related to that dosha. In the Navamsha, we have that Saturn in the 3rd house, right? And Mercury is in 12 of losses related to that 10th Lord Mars in 6th. So it's punishment, 6th house, causing the losses. Mercury in the 12th, right? And we did previously the reading how this is related in that, or how it will manifest, how that karma, this template of karma will now manifest for the 3rd relationship by treating it all from the 9th house. And in the Dashamsa, this Virgo is the 6th lord in 8th house. Therefore, now we can confirm, yes, whatever that problem is will lead to end of the job. You can see this is quite serious. The seriousness level we can take from the Navamsha, we can see all the malefics are in the dual signs. And in the Dashamsa, we can say how it will really manifest. So here we can see it is end of the job. Maybe it's better, right? It was Jupiter, so probably he will quickly find another job because Jupiter is in 5th with the Sun. I don't have any information about that, but this is what we could expect from the chart. Okay, so that will do for today. I hope you got some value from this video. If you do, then please don't forget to hit that thumbs up and also subscribe for more videos like this. If you'd like to have a consultation with me about your health or relationship or career life, then just hit me up with this email here and you can schedule one 60 or 90 minutes on the Zoom. And if you'd like to learn more about astrology of relationship, then please consider watching this one.